What's up guys, my name is Mike of Coed Gaming, and boy do I have some exciting news this time. As I record this right now, it's April 24th, 2015, the very last day that the new SEGA poll on their Japanese website was open, in which you could cast your vote for which home console or the PC. Whichever of those platforms you want, you could decide which of those you wanted Project DIVA Arcade Future Tone to come to. There is a really good chance that 80% of the people watching this video have no idea what Project DIVA or Vocaloid or Hatsune Miku is, but that's okay. I have a video up right now showing it off. This is the arcade game. Basically, this is one of the most fun, bright, colorful, vibrant, addictive arcade games to come out of Japan in quite some time, especially if you're a fan of Vocaloid, and especially if you're a fan of rhythm games like myself. This is a game that's been on the market for 5 years now, and people have been begging SEGA to bring it to home consoles ever since it first came out. Why? Because it currently boasts 200 songs, a beautiful graphics engine, and it's something different. There's really nothing like this in the United States, with the exception of a few of the Project DIVA games, which have thankfully made their way stateside. Now, while the poll is going to be over by the time you hear this, I want to make something perfectly clear. Missing the poll is perfectly okay. This poll was only open to people in Japan anyway who had access to the arcade machine, because you needed both a SEGA ID and you needed an IMEI card, and an IMEI card was basically like a little credit card type thing, and essentially you could load it up with money and use it to buy your playtime whenever you go to the arcade. Essentially, it was their way of swapping out quarters. Pretty cool idea, but the IMEI cards are only in Japan, and the only way to get them are at the arcades in which supported games are held, or from the actual cabinets themselves. So missing out on the poll is not a bad thing. I mean, hell, I couldn't even cast my vote no matter how hard I tried. I even made a SEGA ID, but when it came time for them to ask me for the code on my IMEI card, that's when I realized, well, this is a lost cause. I don't have the card. I can't cast my vote. However, it's being reported on by websites such as Crunchyroll, Gamatsu, and PlayStation Life. Not only that, this game has a huge following in Japan, way more than it does in the United States, and that's because there's only, I believe, 4 machines in the entire US, or at least 4 different places that have the machines. But all of these things are not important. What's really important is what this means for the future. The fact is, SEGA has finally listened to all of the people who have been begging for a home release of Project DIVA Arcade, and it looks to me like we're gonna get it. The question is now, which platforms are they going to appear on? To me, this one seems kind of easy. There's only 2 platforms that I could see this game appearing on in the United States, and if it doesn't even come out in the US, who cares? You can just import. The first is the PS4, obviously. All the other home versions of Project DIVA games, be it the first 2 Project DIVA Fs or the 3 Dreamy Theater games, were all PS3 only. Granted, Project DIVA F1 and F2, those did eventually come out in the US, but the Dreamy Theater games were download only. The only way to get those is if you had a Japanese PSN, and you needed to have either a Japanese credit card, which most people don't have, or you had to buy a yen code online so you could have money in your virtual bank to pay for the game. However, I have a feeling that with the release of Project DIVA F1 and 2nd being in a physical disc form, not download only, I'm pretty sure that Project DIVA Arcade on the PS4 is going to be a retail disc, and maybe it will also have a download component as well. Who cares? I mean, if you can get the disc, just get the disc. It's going to be way easier for you. And if it doesn't come out in the US, it does not matter. The PS4 is completely region-free. You will be able to import the game. Now, the other platform that I think this game is going to appear on is the PC. This one seems like the best choice because the PC has the best sound, it has the best graphics, it can hold the most amount of data as opposed to all the platforms. However, I see 2 problems with this, and this is why I think if Sega's only gonna go with one platform, it might be the PS4. The first problem is piracy is a huge issue, and I fear that people are gonna be able to just torrent all the music packs whenever they come out. That would severely cut into the profits of the game, and that would tell Sega, okay, we don't want to bring this game to PC anymore, we don't want to bring any future games to PC anymore because people are not going to pay for them, and it shows a lack of respect for the product, so we're not even going to waste our time. PS4, you can't do that. The other problem is, I mean, come on, this is an anime game, this is the internet, there are going to be nude mods up the ass. Let's not even kid ourselves. We saw what happened with Dead or Alive, we saw what happened with Tomb Raider, it's gonna be the same thing with Project DIVA. The only problem is, this franchise for some reason embraces it because they have so much, you know, scantily clad outfits and so many instances where they just embrace sexuality. Not that that's a bad thing, but they're enabling people to take it into their own hands and abuse it and make it into something that it's not meant to be. So that would be completely rectified if it was not on the PC and rather on the PS4. Personally, I have no problem either way, although I do think it would make a lot more sense if they released the game only on the PS4, because for anyone who's played the Project DIVA games, you would know this. The 4 symbols that you have to hit, you know, the 4 notes that you hit in the game, are the PlayStation face buttons: square, triangle, circle, and cross. Those 4 icons would obviously show up in the PS4 version, but I don't see how they would show up in the PC version unless they're different symbols, and that would really be breaking the formula and breaking the tradition. And if they're gonna be the face buttons, they'd have to pay royalties to Sony, you know, to have that in the game. And if you're gonna do that, just put it on the PS4. I mean, the Project DIVA series has always belonged to only 2 franchises. Not 2 franchises, I'm sorry, 2 platforms. The first is the 3DS, with the Project Mirai series, and the other is the PSP, the PS Vita, and basically the Sony consoles. Sony and Nintendo are the 2 companies that have had them. Xbox is not going to get them. That's an American company, and Krypton and Sega do not want to have anything to do with an American company. It sucks, but that's the way it is. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say about this, because this is huge news for fans of Vocaloid. I mean, we've been asking for this for so long now, and it seems we're finally gonna get what we want. In fact, I did a video years ago. Wait, years ago? 2 years ago. December of 2013. Really not that long ago. I did a video in 2013 talking about why Project DIVA Arcade Future Tone needed to be made for the PS4, and hopefully a lot of the points that I address can be found in the home version of this game when it does come out, because I really do think it's going to. I do not think that Sega would whet our appetites this much by having this poll and making it so clear that they're considering bringing this game to the US and then just not do it. I mean, Sega, we will give you our money. That should be all you need to know. You flash product, we flash money. Supply and demand. Bring this game to the PS4, make it look exactly the same as the arcade. Hell, make it look better if you can. Give us the same menu system, the same song selection, keep on adding songs, keep on adding costumes, keep on adding UI options, just keep on building like all the arcade games in Japan do. Just keep building. That is what makes these games, 1, have replayability because you're always coming back to see the new content, and 2, it makes the games fresh all the time because there's always something new to do. That's what I have to say about this. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Please, leave your wishes for this game in the comments below and leave your reactions in the comments below because I'm really looking forward to reading these. And as always, take it easy, guys. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to check out last week's video, which can be found right here. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And while you're at it, make sure to check out the rest of Coed Gaming, where we upload gaming videos every single week. And as always, game on.